The Photographer's Curse, a mysterious tale in the elusive depths of the great city, where alleyways merge with memories and light barely grazes the contours of existence. Maxime is a photographer whose reputation has continued to grow. Since childhood, Maxime has always been drawn to the emotions of others, a trait that seemed both a blessing and a curse. He remembered those moments spent observing the faces around him, seeking to understand the hidden stories behind each gaze, each smile.
Like any other, through his lens, he seems to pierce invisible veils, revealing buried emotions, truths that his subjects have never known about themselves.
Each portrait he captures becomes an open window to something greater, something deeper. But recently, something inexplicable has been disturbing this harmony. Maxime begins to notice a troubling phenomenon. The faces he immortalizes seem, without him knowing why, to subtly adopt his own expressions. If his mind wanders into melancholy, he finds that same shadow in his model's faces. If he smiles inwardly, an unexpected spark lights up the features of those he photographs. Gradually, he realizes that his emotions no longer remain locked within him. They seem to echo, somehow, through the lens. Puzzled, Maxime scrutinizes Julie again, a famous actress he's photographing for a magazine cover. She adjusts her makeup. Her smile has returned, light and carefree, as if she had never gone through that phase of introspection. Nothing in her behavior betrayed the change he had captured in the images. Was it mere coincidence? Maxime wasn't certain, but he couldn't help reflecting on this strange phenomenon. In the following days, the idea haunts him. To ease his doubts, Maxime decides to conduct more precise tests during his next sessions. With each new shot, he deliberately changes his own state of mind. Sometimes smiling, sometimes serious, he observes how his models react. And each time, he finds on their faces a perfect reflection of his own emotions. Whether they were joyful, sad, or in different moments before, his subjects now seem to reproduce, unknowingly, Maxime's inner expression at the moment he triggers the shutter. This repetition of strange phenomena pushes Maxime to deeper reflection. Could there be an invisible link? A mysterious connection between him and the people he photographs? What seemed anecdotal at first begins to take on a scope he had never imagined. He then starts keeping a logbook, carefully noting each observation, each subtle variation between his emotions and those of his models. Gradually, it becomes a silent obsession. Maxime tells no one about his discoveries, but his mind is in turmoil. He wonders if his talent, once a source of pride, doesn't hide something more elusive, a force he cannot control. Seeking answers, Maxime consults experts and colleagues, but the discussions always remain vague. Some mention psychological theories about empathy and subliminal influence. Others speak of invisible forces, almost esoteric, capable of transcending simple image capture. But no explanation manages to fully satisfy his thirst for understanding. Photo sessions follow one another, but Maxime feels increasingly disconnected from his art. The shadow of this enigma hovers over each of his creations. The portraits he captures are no longer simple shots. They become mirrors of his inner states, fragments of his soul that the lens seems to absorb. One evening, as the silence of his studio stretches like a calm sea around him, Maxime contemplates the photographs he has taken. The faces staring back at him reflect familiar emotions, those he experienced at the moment of capture. At that moment, a realization overwhelms him. This phenomenon is not limited to a simple photographic anomaly. It is deeper, more troubling. And he now knows that his quest to discover the truth could redefine not only his art, but his perception of reality itself. That's a wrap on today's video. If you're curious to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe